And it's a study of the St. Martin culture and identity and brings in the whole element of the landscape, the very landscape of the island. And the emphasis then she's placing on the aesthetics of salt. When we say aesthetics, we mean, you know, elements of identity, elements of beauty, elements that identified. In a general term, this is what that means. And so the constant use of the element of salt and the various definitions of it relative to St. Martin, relative to the Great Salt Pond, and beyond, some universal elements drawn in. Her thesis was that, well, the focus that I am putting on this thing is identifying not only St. Martin, but the element as a co-important or co-significant symbol with salt, with sugar rather, that you see so constant from Cuba all the way down to Trinidad in Caribbean literature. And so that whole analysis, and then she brings in some of the different writers, contemporaries, Brathwaite, Hutchinson out of Jamaica, Brathwaite out of Barbados, and so on, Aja out of Barbados, and all of them to show the similarities, but she's focusing on the poetry books of mine, the essays as well, the profiles that, for example, that are national symbols. And she's saying, what is Sekou doing with salt that is making it so important, that is identifying the St. Martin people so much, that is identifying their culture, their history, and what is, I think is key to it, their very landscape.
But, you know, we're the land of salt.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. And she brings that out critically, because remember, and when I said she makes the correlation or the comparison, or she sets up salt as a pillar that is as important, as significant as salt, as sugar rather, it's because most of the region, or significant part of the region during the unholy period of slavery, sugar was the main crop, you know, and but salt was also mined, because it's a mine, it's a salt mine, it's a marsh, it's a mine, was mined in a number of other islands. But the significance for St. Martin as the main crop in St. Martin during that period, and the size of the Great Salt Pond, and the degree to which that salt then figured into the financial shares you saw coming out of Amsterdam, that you saw that fueling the long distance trade that kept the Dutch empire, as while smaller than its sister empires, kept it being able to negotiate, both in terms of speed because of the smallness of its ships, and because of the preservation of food to move the long distance trade, not just in this hemisphere, throughout the world. And so she's drawing on this, and she's saying, what is Sekou trying to do? What is he saying? And what is he saying for the St. Martin people, or to the St. Martin people? Is he correct? Here are the comparisons. Did he miss the point? Did he get it stronger here? What can we learn from it? Are others doing it relative to salt, like how so many have done with our history and the symbolisms and the aesthetics of our history relative to sugar, or the Black Americans relative to cotton? So this is what she's drawing, and she's bringing it up into the modern period in saying, well, how is it affecting people? Are people relating to it? Do we see it in the works of Debbie? Do we see it in the work of Neville York? Do we see it in other Caribbean writers? All of this she's playing on. And I think she, you know, because I have to look at it, it's the work is on my work, but also because of my responsibility at House of Nancy Publishers, I have to say, well, is this something new? It's a new way of looking at things.